Insatiable needs. We always strive to attain the highest quality in goods and services. With today's ever-changing demand, ports play a vital role in global economy for market expansion as they act as a crucial connection between sea and land transport. During the pre-colonial era, Cebu has always been the center in terms of trade and commerce. Locals were already engaging in trade with foreigners from India, Malaysia, China, and Indonesia. Owing to its strategic position at the heart of the Philippine archipelago, Cebu naturally became part of the trade route during the Spanish colonization, where a trade post was opened in 1886. The trade post proved to be valuable. The province experienced growth and development in terms of infrastructure, buildings, and transportation.
To fully appreciate the glory of the present, let us first take a glimpse of the colorful past. The story of Pier 3 is probably as old as Cebu itself. The port of Cebu is one of the Philippines' major ports, as it is strategically situated in the center of the Philippine Islands. The bustling port operations, even then, underlined Cebu's expanding trade with its Asian neighbors as China, Indonesia, Malaysia, and India. This translated into the increasing growth of commerce and trade in the nearby streets of Colon and Magallanes. The opening of the Port of Cebu to world trade under the Spanish colonial rule in 1886 brought with it significant advancement in transportation and infrastructure. Patches of what used to be dirt roads were paved into streets that would later on develop into Cebu's primary business and shopping districts.
Then the Americans introduced the railway system and some advanced technology.
Succeeding American colonial era saw Cebu continuing its significance as a major Philippine seaport. The development of railway in Cebu was considered the key factor to the commercial and economic development of the island by providing the freight means and connecting the capital and the suburbs. However, the outbreak of World War II reduced all that was achieved in economic gains into piles of rubble and ruins. The war saw widespread devastation in the city, and the Cebu base port was one of those areas that suffered the most.
Cebu port stood still despite the damage and destruction brought by World War II. The Cebu's port remained unfazed from various natural disasters that hit the province, such as typhoons and earthquakes. In 1974, Presidential Decree Number 505 was issued. It was aimed at providing for the reorganization of port administration and operation functions in the country, and thus, the Philippine Ports Authority, or PPA, was created. The PPA paved the way for the establishment of individual, autonomous port, industrial zone authorities in the different port districts, including the Cebu port.
When the Philippine Ports Authority was supervising the ports of Cebu, there was no CPA yet. Well, we have the backup of the national government. That's the advantages, and finance-wise, yes, there are plenty of money available from the national government. We feel that we need more focus, because the national agency is supervising all the ports in the Philippines, and we feel that should be able to do it on our own.
As the Cebu province experienced significant economic growth and development through the years, there was also an increased demand for safe, effective, and efficient port services. And to answer such pressing demand, the Cebu Port Authority was created through the enactment of Republic Act number 7621, signed on June 26, 1992. It was specifically to administer all ports located in Cebu province, effectively separating these ports from the PPA system.
It was necessary because under the PPA, all our income here at the port went to national, and so we ended up not only being not able to improve the port, but we could not even maintain the port. We got it from Manila, a national government, and placed it here, not in the region, but in Cebu, so that all our earnings will be retained by us, and we can use all of that to improve our port.
By 1995, Port Management Office, or the PMO, and all ports within Cebu province were turned over to the Cebu Port Authority. CPA began operations and officially took over all Cebu ports on January 1, 1996. To this day, CPA maintains and supervises a total of 16 ports within the province.
When the Cebu Port Authority became a creation, it is more focused now because this is run by Cebuanos and only for the entire province of Cebu. It was a challenge when the Cebu Port Authority became a Cebu Port Authority in itself because when we have to do it on our own from a little assistance from the Philippine Ports Authority, we have to be able to manage to improve the services.
The novel coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic has had an undeniable impact not only in public health, but also on the demand for goods and services, which has been significantly affected due to the additional border controls and reinforced safety protocols. Despite the threats and risks brought about by the pandemic, the Cebu Port Authority remains true to its commitment of delivering safe, efficient, and effective port services. In the midst of a pandemic, the Cebu Port Authority continues to display its corporate social responsibility. Pursuant to the Republic Act number 11469, or otherwise known as the Bayanihan to Heal as One Act, CPA have also conducted remarkable efforts to contribute and support the national response against COVID-19.
We have alerted all our ports around Cebu, kaya ang jurisdiction ako, the whole of Cebu, we have several ports in Cebu, to strictly implement health protocols that has been directed by the IATF, naman say regular ng memo sa amo na siya. Strict, as in strict. So, no face shield, no face mask, no entry. Then you have social distancing also is maintained, hugas kamot. Other than that, we have also police marshals watching over people inside and outside the port to ensure that all the health protocols are being followed religiously to prevent the spread of the disease. As a requirement to the issuance of the Bayanihan to Heal as One Act, approved by President Duterte, all dividends of government agencies, they are required to remit it early. The purpose of the 500 million was to help government implement their responses towards the containment of COVID-19 virus. Somehow it can help our people, also not only the businessmen, but our people, the poor, to weather also the effects of the pandemic. The most most severely affected by the pandemic is shipping. Dahil kayo mga barko nga tied up, wag yun managan, lagi karga, walit pasahero. So to help them weather the problem, we issued a moratorium on port fees. Meaning that if you do not leave or you are tied up in port, you do not pay anything. However, if you leave, nakay pasahero, nakay karga, you pay the appropriate fees. And later on, we actually improved the system by actually stopping altogether from collecting port charges from all domestic vessels from October 2020 up to June 2021. And we are not talking about domestic only here in Cebu, but domestic shipping from other parts of the Philippines that comes to Cebu. Basta domestic siya.
Responding with the challenges of times, Cebu Port Authority, together with other partner government agencies, launched the first one-stop shop for crew change in the Visayas.
So karon provide taog area or facility to facilitate crew change sa mga barko.
Cebu now becomes a strategic hub for international vessels for change crew. Given its state-of-the-art medical facilities, world-class and comfortable accommodation as quarantine facilities, following the standard operating procedure against COVID-19 and a strong business climate, today more than ever, Cebu Port is ready to facilitate international vessels and serve our domestic and international seafarers.
Ports are vital links in the supply chain, without which goods may not reach their intended beneficiaries or destination. What we do is we maintain 24/7 operation and implement capacity building projects so that shipping, cargo handling, and other port services remain unhampered. These are just available immediately. They remain unhampered despite the pandemic.
With the challenges the institution had experienced through the years, and with today's new normal, the Cebu Port Authority remains strong and resilient.
Okay, so that has been